I'm Bethany Anderson of Bethany Heals, and if life's been lifing lately, then you found me just in time. This is a pause, a permission slip to just be. And before we begin, let me remind you, your healing isn't on a timeline. Around here, we don't hustle our healing, we honor it. Trust that your intuition brought you here for a reason. So let's drop into our next archive episode. Hello, soul seekers, and welcome to archive episode number 6. Today is a great day. I shared a little bit about this on my social media, but today is 1 month since the end of my relationship, and I'm just so dang proud of myself. You know? Like, I did it. I made it through. You know, August wasn't easy, but I showed up. My friends, my clients, my loved ones, they all showed up, and hot damn. I'm just so grateful. And I feel like this is probably one of the harder things I've moved through in a long time, at least in recent history. And I just wanted to take a moment to pat myself on the back. You know, the rituals, the practices, the self-expression, it's all been an outlet for me to heal. And hopefully for you to find a sense of oneness with one another, with me. And hopefully this is becoming a space where you can come back to yourself. So yeah, here's just some vibes to start us for this podcast, because why not? Okay, we're done. Sorry, I was just totally feeling this ambient playlist that I found on SoundCloud. It's a total vibe. It makes you just want to move your body in weird ways for whatever reason, and I'm here for it. So now as we're back to our beautiful grounded selves, how are we all doing? It's officially September. We're in eclipse season. We're hopefully all starting to have created those foundational practices to help us get through these sudden endings and beginnings that are opening up now. You know, the sun is starting to set a little bit earlier. It's getting a little cooler in the evenings. I'm so excited to experience seasons. Like, having grown up in Southern California for the majority of my life, I'm kind of here for it. And I know everyone talks about the big dark here in Seattle, which is just gray, gloomy weather for the majority of the year. But as a Cancer sun, I have no complaints about that. I have my beautiful fireplace. I've got my chopped wood covered outside, ready to go. I feel like I am about to be in full-on creator mode. I have my pottery wheel set up. I have my membership at my new favorite studio. When I tell you I am prepping for this big dark season here in Washington, I've been prepping. You know, we have the fall equinox that's right around the corner, which is the true turning of the seasons. And so I'm already starting to feel this vibe of just thinking about what's next and how to really be present for it all. You know, I find myself thinking about how when we're moving through really challenging seasons in our life, when we start to really sit with it and to be in it, there's this opportunity for a perspective shift to occur. Where yes, we can be in these spaces for grieving what was, for what could have been, for letting go of this part of our lives, of our maybe even a version of ourselves that isn't serving us anymore. There is absolute necessity for that experience. And through those changes, this perspective can start to seep in where you realize, I'm making it through. I can get to the other side. I'm stronger than I think I am. You are stronger than you think you are. So that's my message of just love and appreciation for this season, for this month that I've just moved through. And I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. I have recently been speaking with some upcoming guests that will be on the pod, and I'm so excited. Holy shnikes. It's pretty wild, because even just the prep calls that we're having, I'm like, this can be an episode within itself. Like, should we just start recording now? I'm just so excited to have our guests start to trickle in throughout this first season of Life.ing. I can't wait for you to meet all of the powerful baddies that are coming on. And it's funny because our first guest is coming on next week. And I was actually planning on saving that episode until the end of the season. But she has got some amazing offerings that are coming up right around the corner where I'm like, I need everyone to just hear your thoughts. Because she is such a future forward thinker. And I think it's just going to be such an interesting conversation to have with her. And so stay tuned for that. But as I was talking with her during our initial prep call, it really made me think about this future forward place that we're in on the timeline, where we have AI and technology just coming at us faster than ever. And I'm going to put this on Uranus and Gemini, because that whole energy is technology and communication and innovation and electricity all jumbled into one. And so we really are stepping into this energetic window of time where we're going to see a lot of interesting and innovative and sometimes confusing or scary developments happen. And I think that there's a different way that we can approach technology, and especially AI, in a way that can actually support where we're headed next. Because obviously technology is not going anywhere. Let's be real, y'all. So how do we integrate these two pieces of our mental health, our well-being, our spirituality with technology? Because there is just a slew of information out there, like more than we've ever had access to. And I wonder how to navigate this new world that we've stepped into. I really do think it's a balance between integration and intentional connection. Mind you, I have Jupiter, which is the planet of like expansion and learning, and Mercury, the planet of speaking, communication, teaching, learning in Gemini. So I am a sponge. I love to absorb and learn information. That's how my love of astrology came about. This is a hobby that I just love learning about. Actually, the astrologer that I study under is going to be on the show too. So that's exciting. But this era really is just really exciting to me. I've really started to take some time to learn about AI, which honestly, I feel like it's just, Google search on steroids. But I've seen what's possible with it and the creations that are coming from it. Not all good, do not get me wrong. But I think that's where the integration piece comes in, is being intentional with how we're using it and really studying and seeing, is this helping or is this hurting me, my life, those around me, right? Because when we tend to ignore or push away things that are unfamiliar to us, that doesn't necessarily help you in the long run, right? I think it's so important to educate ourselves on the things that we don't understand. But then we also have this intentional connection that we can have. You know, I see this mass overconsumption, this wasteful and harmful experiences that can occur that directly affect our planet and our minds when it comes to technology, social media. But I'm also a hopeful person. And I have to believe that we can learn to use technology for good. The more we use these tools for good, the better of an outcome that we can create. But what if there's a way to intertwine the essence of human spirituality with the innovation of technology? So listen, at the end of the day, AI is just a human creating the code. And yes, it's assimilating and picking up and learning and shifting, but a human mind created that. And I believe that we can learn to use it to create new pathways and structures to make our world better. Now, there will always be the evil few, right? There are always going to be those that are craving the power and the greed. But you know what there's more of? There's way more of you and me on the spectrum of good, with morals and values that can actually bring a refreshing and enlightening take on what's out there. Just know we're only shown what these platforms want us to see or think that we want to see. So it really is up to you to be proactive in how you use them. Like, for example, on Instagram, I have a private IG account that I use to upload photos that I take with my new camera that I got for my birthday. And I only follow accounts that inspire my creativity and that light me up. And let me tell you, that algorithm is a beauty. I built that algo brick by brick. So when we're being intentional with the connection of technology, where are you missing the mark? Maybe it's time to do a little bit of a dopamine detox. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the news and information and everything that's coming up, mute all of the accounts. Mute all of the accounts in your stories, right? In your feed. Unfollow the people, the accounts who aren't actually adding anything to your life. Stop being on your phone, checking the emails while you wait in line, watching shows while you eat. There has to be intention behind the connection that you're making. Or else you're just falling into this twilight zone of a trap of overconsumption, and it's just not going to do it anymore. This is the balance between integration and intentional connection, where we start to lead with the human sides of ourselves, where we disconnect from anything that's not serving us, all of that noise, and we start to tune into that spiritual signal within us first. So we can enter into this new age, this new time with less distracting outside noise and replacing it with only the digital spaces that fill us up, where we can start to use AI and all of these different tools in a way that's actually supporting you. And if it's not, then it's not it. On to the next. This is creating your very own digital altar. What will you choose for yours? So you'll soon start to see, as we move along our season, we just talk about everything on here. I just think there's just so much out there that still connects and ties us to our beautiful spiritual selves. And I want to talk about all of it. So I'm really looking forward to our first guest, Shanae Benzel. You will hear all about her and from her in our episode next week. And in the meantime, Elixir, my 8-week program, begins on September 24th. Life Be Lifing really is the essence of Elixir. I want to really challenge the way that you think and the way that you show up in the world and how you see yourself. It's such a beautiful, transformative offering that I've created, and the waitlist is still open. Signups actually open up very soon, next week to be exact. I highly recommend joining the waitlist because there are a ton of bonuses and gifts that I'm including for my waitlist girlies. So I hope to see you in the inner circle for that. And in the meantime, I would love to hear or see your comments about the digital altars that you're creating in your life. Send me some great pages. Send me some great things to read. Whatever you're finding, whatever content just lights you up, I would love to see it. So I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to be with you all in our next episode with our first guest.